Hey guys, I'm Ivory and welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be testing a bunch of luxury high-end makeup products. The products themselves are not necessarily new, like they haven't been released super recently. Some of them are, but most of them are just products that I never got to try before, but they may have been out for a while and I'm just now getting to them. I do want to give a quick thank you to my friend Mary, who is also a small YouTuber like myself. You may know her as Mary H, but she has recently changed her channel name to Life Imperfect. Basically, she decided to change the direction of her channel and it's not going to be centered around makeup anymore. So she wanted to rehome the makeup that she would no longer be using to someone who would love them, a la me. It's basically like Toy Story. Andy grew up and his priorities changed and he matured and realized that he no longer wanted to play with his toys. And before college, he ended up giving his toys to a little girl who he knew would appreciate the toys. I'm gonna link her channel and all her social media in my description box below. So be sure to go check out her channel and send some love. If you don't, I will hear about it. And me and you, we're gonna have a problem. And before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I try to post at least twice a week. Sometimes it's once, sometimes it's none. I'm trying to get better at it. All right, so as you can see, I did my eyes. I actually did my brows too off of camera because it's not anything new. So the first new product is the Anastasia eye primer. I already applied it on this eye and can tell you that everything blended really well on top of it. It is very white and a little bit goes a long way, so it could definitely go whiter than this, but I just added a little bit and I felt like that was enough. And then for eyeshadow, I'm going in with the Anastasia Norvina palette. I was able to create a look that is two of my favorite things, which is a pink romantic look and a warm neutral look. I put the two together. I really love how it came out, and I have the Modern Renaissance palette and I really love the quality of that eyeshadow palette, and I feel like this one holds up to that standard. So first, with a fluffy brush, I'm going into the shade Love and I'm going to apply that all over the eye, but kind of avoiding the lid area since I'm going to cut it anyways. And then I'm going to go in with the eyeshadow primer again. I'm gonna cut 2/3 of my lid. And then with a Morphe M124 brush, on one side of it, I'm gonna go into the shade Wild Child, and I'm gonna put that into the first third of my lid, first patting it down with a brush and then going over a second coat with my finger. And then using the other side of the brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Rose Gold and I'm gonna apply that right next to Wild Child. And I'm gonna go back and forth with the two colors so that it's not just like a clear divide between the shadows. I want them to fade into each other. And then with a Sigma E44 brush, I'm gonna mix both the shades Volatile as well as Passion, and I'm going to stamp that into the outer V, and once most of the pigment down is when I'm going to start working it up. These two shadows are a little bit dusty, so just be careful. And then once more with the fluffy brush, I'm going to go into the first shade Love and kind of just run that all over the outer perimeters to blend out all the other shadows. And then with a Morphe M410 brush, I'm going to go into the first shade called Dreamer, and I'm going to tuck that into my brow bone. And that is it. I might go back in a little bit and like touch up, but I need to see the rest of the face complete before I make that decision. So next I'm gonna prime. I'm using the Cover FX Blurring Primer. The look of it is very like Benefit Professional, I would say. And it definitely has that dimethicone type of texture to it. And I'm not gonna use a new foundation here. Unfortunately, me and Mary are very different in foundation shades, but if we were the same foundation shade, this would basically be a full face of new makeup. However, there is a foundation brush that she wanted me to try. This is the Smith 130 brush. It's very densely packed, which is something that I really like, and it's pretty soft. And I actually like how small it is because this is the area that I mess up pretty often with my foundation, and I feel like since it's so small, I'm less likely to mess it up. Okay, so first impressions of this brush, I felt like it did an okay job. For the most part, everything looks pretty even though like I'm kind of just buffing out the parts where I think are a little bit rough. One thing that she did say to me is that she felt that they were a little bit scratchy. I don't feel a scratchiness so much when I'm buffing it in, but when I'm stippling it in, then I can feel like it's a little bit scratchy. So I would have to say I kind of agree with her. And then for my concealer, she gave me a different brush. I'm telling you, she hooked me up. I have so much new stuff. I'm so excited to show you guys. This is the Sigma F87 Edge Kabuki brush. It looks like a little triangle. I feel like it would be perfect for like getting really up close there. I never use a brush for my concealer. I've completely gotten used to using a sponge, but I wanted to try this brush out. She had a lot of unique and like weird shaped brushes that I really wanted to try. And if I haven't said it already, I do plan on doing a affordable and drugstore version of makeup I haven't tried, just because she gave me that much makeup. In just palettes alone, I counted, I think I have 12 or 13 new palettes to play with. New, you know what I mean by when I say new. But yeah, that's just in eyeshadow palettes alone. So I have a lot of new stuff to try that I'm really excited about. I feel like this looks not as blended as I'm used to, so I prefer my sponge actually. Yeah, see already on this side, it just looks way more blended than on this side. But I do still love Sigma brushes as a whole. They're very soft and really good quality. Next, to set everything, I'm using the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil Finishing Powder. Look how beautiful this packaging is. The top is so luxe and it is like really heavy. I believe this is translucent, although the powder looks a little bit peachy, but looks can be deceiving, so we will see. Okay, that powder makes my skin feel so nice and smooth. I don't feel like it altered my foundation. I'll have to look back at the footage because right now I feel like I'm kind of being put on the spot to think about it, but I feel like it looks the same, so I'll have to look back when I'm editing this to confirm that it didn't alter my foundation. But so far, I feel like it looks good. I'm gonna finish off the lower lash line. So I'm first gonna go in with my eyeshadow primer again. I'm gonna take a really small flat shader brush and I'm gonna prime my lower lash line. I never do this, but I saw Magdalene did this and I don't know why I never thought to do that, because I always feel like even if I mirror the same shades from the top to the bottom, they never come out as vibrant as they did from the top. So I'm gonna try this trick and hope that it works. Alright, so with a Morphe M506 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Love and I'm going to blow out my lower lash line and drag it down kind of far. This color is so light that it can go further than I normally would, and also connect it to the top shadow. And then with an e.l.f. eyeliner brush, I'm going to go into the shade Volatile as well as Passion again, mix the two together, and then tightline my lower lash line. I'm gonna go in with a white eyeliner and I'm gonna put that into my waterline. And then right on top of the eyeliner, I wanna go into this blue shade called Soul. And then lastly, with a pencil brush, I'm going into the shade Dreamer once more, and I'm gonna put that into my inner corner. All right, so I think we're done with the eyes. I'm gonna give all my final opinions at the end of this video. I'm next gonna go in with the Cover FX Perfector Face Palette. This is the light to medium palette, and I wanna use this contour shade. I haven't used a contour shade like this in a while. I've been reaching for like a more warm toned bronzer contour situation, just because it's summer and I am a little bit darker. So it's been a while since I used like a taupey, cool toned shade to actually contour with. It's funny because I swatched some of the makeup that she gave me and there was a bronzer and I put it on my face and it was like the equivalent of my banana powder. Like it ended up brightening up my skin versus like bronzing. But honestly, this is gonna quickly turn into Ivory complimenting Mary for 15 minutes straight compilation. Even though me and her are very different, like she is fair and I am like in the middle, like medium. She has dry skin and I have very oily skin. She's definitely someone that I follow because of personality. She is one of the nicest people ever. She has great video quality content. When you are a small channel, you notice other people's like editing and all those small things that people who are just watching just because they love videos won't always pick up on it, but someone who knows the work it takes to put into a video would really appreciate it. So I definitely see all the little small details that she puts into her videos, but also she just has a lot of fun videos. You know, I've made quite a few friends here on YouTube, which I'm really happy about, but there are very few that I could say that are my friends and I trust. That's a totally different category. A while back, I made a video about like what I was going through depression wise. It was just so nice to be able to talk to someone who completely understood what I was going through. It's really different to talk about your issues to someone who hasn't gone what you've gone through versus venting to someone who knows exactly what you've gone through because they've been through it too. So it's just really nice that we were able to bond over something like that. And it almost makes me upset when I see that she's not growing as fast as I think she should be. But you know what I think the reason is? It's because she's not problematic. So I think, and if she's game, me and her should have like beef where like I talk shit about her and like maybe we have some type of banter and then all you guys can like stir the pot and whatever and just like get our names out there, and then all these people can go to her channel and be like, let me see what this girl's about, and they're like, oh my god, she's actually a really great person. And then from there on, her channel will take off. It's just as simple as that. I'm sure me and her will talk after this video so we can fine tune the details. All right, next for blush, I'm going in with the Pretty Vulgar blush. This is in the shade Sweet Revenge. This is a matte blush. Most of the time I say that I prefer a more luminous blush, but lately I've been into matte blushes. I don't know if this blush goes with this eye because this has a little bit of like a red terracotta undertone to it, and this is very pink. So with the same brush, I'm actually gonna go into the pink shade called Love, and I'm just gonna apply that right on top just so that it makes everything more tied together. And I'm also gonna take what's left on the sponge and use the powder to kind of just tone this down. And I forgot I wanted to add this really quickly. I'm gonna go in with these Stila liquid eyeshadows. I have wanted these for so long, and I'm so happy that she was giving these up. I got a whole bunch. I'm really excited about this because I have been going to the drugstore to look for dupes, and none of them compare to the Stila ones. They either crack or they flake, or I don't know, they don't work out. I tried them once when I did a video with Caroline when I was in the Bay Area, and the minute I swiped it on, I was like, oh my god, these are so good. So ever since then, I've been on the hunt, but nothing compares to the Stila ones. So I'm happy they're in my collection now. The shade that I'm using is Peachy Sheen, and it's more like an eyeshadow topper, I feel like. There's just like little specks of glitter because I want the pink shadow to still be underneath. I don't want to cover it. I just want to elevate it. All right, so next I'm going to highlight. I know I never highlight, but I'm going to highlight today. I'm using the Becca Champagne Pop. I'm really excited about this one. I love Jaclyn Hill. Well, I love old Jaclyn Hill. I don't know how I feel yet about current Jaclyn Hill, but she's definitely one of the first people I watched when I first started getting interested into makeup. She's just such a great teacher, and even though me and her have also very different skin types, I always really liked watching her technique with her eyes because she just had really gorgeous eyes and like a perfect eye shape and lid space for so many good looks. So I just really enjoyed watching the whole process. Oof. Do you see that? That's gorgeous. This shade is just... I'm also going to go in with a pencil brush and just add that on top of the inner corner because I really like the shade of this. All right, and then lastly for lips, I'm actually going to mix two. They're both from Dose of Colors. I'm going to mix both Campfire as well as Truffle. All right, so this is one layer. I do want to say that I added mostly Truffle just because I felt like the undertone of this one was closer to my lip, and this one was just like a tad too nude. I added a really thin layer. I definitely could go in with the second one, but I kind of like my skin peeking through. And then lastly, I'm using the Milk Makeup Blur Spray. That has an interesting smell. It kind of smells like menthol, which I'm not mad at. I like that type of smell. What is this supposed to do? Invisible Matte Makeup Setting Spray provides a soft focus blur effect. I mean, I don't know. Am I blurry? I'm gonna go with yes. All right, so that is all the products that I have to test today. Out of all of them, I don't really feel like I disliked anything. Maybe the brush a little bit just because I felt like it didn't blend the same way my sponge did for the concealer. Maybe I should have swiped more instead of like dabbing. I don't know. I'll play around with this one, but the way I used it today wasn't really working out for me. And the Smith brush, I was warned that it might be scratchy. It was a little bit scratchy. But as far as makeup products, I liked everything. Everything worked out pretty great, I feel like. A huge shout out to Mary again because, I mean, she knows what's up. She obviously has really great taste. So that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and feel free to comment down below what other types of videos you'd like to see from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!